what I'm going to do is show you how to mock up a mobile phone. But let me tell you where I found that. Now, if you look at the top of the new documents table, you'll have photo, print, art and illustration. If you click on those, Photoshop give you all of these free templates, so you can mock up and doctor these templates and fill all these spaces with your own work. And say, look, it says here free. These are all totally free. So have a little scoot through that. But obviously, I'm going to use a mobile phone, which, funny enough, I found under mobile, and it's this one here, hands and mobile mockups. So if I go to recents again, so I've already downloaded it just to save time. So let me open that, and this is what we're presented with: photo angle number 1 and photo angle number 2. If we come over to our layers panel, you can see that that's all been separated for you as well. And we'll show you just how quick and easy this is to do. So all we're going to do is, if you find your image here layer, double click on the thumbnail. After editing the contents, blah blah blah, just hit OK. That's fine. It opens up this new window. So we've still got the templates there. So if we go into this new window, place your app screen here. Now, what we're going to do, come up to File, down to Place Embedded, select that, and it's going to call up your library or your documents. Basically, I'm going to click on a coffee cup, the product shot that I did, and hit place, and it's going to appear in that space, that blank space we have here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to resize that image to fit this template. So I'm just going to hold down Shift, drag that out there, try and make it centralized. There, happy with that, hit return, and there we go. That is going to be the mobile or the screen of the mobile phone. So it's just, as soon as you close it down, yeah, we'll save that. That's lovely. And then there you go. It appears in those templates. First of all, what we want to do, the photograph that I'm going to use is landscape orientation, so I need to turn this photograph on its side. So if we go to the brick background, image rotation, and then 90 degrees clockwise, that turns the image on its side. However, you may have noticed that the entire image has turned on its side, and bricks, in fact I've never seen bricks laid in that orientation. If your builder does, then I'd start questioning where they studied bricklaying. So how can we turn those bricks back to the correct orientation? Well, that's very, very simple. While still on the brick background, we're going to go to Edit, Transform, and rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. There we go, and that just turns the brick layer, because that's the layer that we're on, that turns that brick layer back to the correct orientation. Now let's get our photograph on the screen. So we'll File, Place Embedded, and you'll select your image. Oh, don't worry about that. Okay, so that's our image there. We can resize that image I'm going to hold down shift so I keep all my proportions the same. Doesn't matter if I go over the edge slightly, because I'm aware of what image I'm using, and I know that if I lose a little bit of the outside edge, it's not going to make a drastic difference. So let me hit return. Now you see that my image has now been dropped in just above that brick background. So we are going to take that layer and drag it above the your image here layer. That brings it forward. There we go. That fits it nicely inside of that mount. And that is how you frame your picture. So once you're into Photoshop, what we're going to do, we're going to go to the Create New tab. I've already done it here, and up pops this new document screen. Now, if we go to the Print tab, select that, and then we want to download the street billboard mockup file. So if we find that, the easiest way to do it is look for a street billboard. There we go. And you can see that it is a free download. So let's select that and hit download. Okay, so once it's downloaded, hit open, obviously. If we look over to the layer panel here, we've got three layers: the background image, the reflection, and the your image layer. It's the your image layer that we're going to work on. So what we want to do, we want to open this layer up. So if we double click here on this first tab here, double click that, just hit OK, that's fine. Cancel that, and it opens up that layer in a new window, and it breaks it all down here. It breaks it up for us. So you've got placeholder, tagline, title, tagline, the border, and the border, which is the blue part, and then the placement itself. Now what we're going to do here, we're going to drop our image into that photo. So let's find my image. There it is. That's the image I'm going to use. I'm just going to drag and drop that into the border there. Now that obviously needs resizing, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so once we've got our photograph in place, we can then start messing around and creating new text. Now what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to change the color of this border. I don't like the border in blue, so I'll make sure that it's white. Find my paint bucket and just pop that in here to make that white, and then we can work on the text itself. So let's drag that above our layer so we can see it. Hit a T for type tool. Now the good thing about one of the beauties of Photoshop now is that once we've created some text, we can go back in and amend it without having to retype the whole thing. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to change the color to white. Text to mustachio nuts. For those of you who don't know what mustachio nut is a charity project that I am doing. It's to raise money and awareness for prostate cancer, or Prostate Cancer Research Centre. So let's move that there. Let's change that text type as well. Let's go Birch Standard. That looks quite nice. We can then afford to make that a little bit larger. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the spacing between the letters. There, we'll leave it there. Wonderful. Let's come off of that. Let's go to tagline 1 then. Let's move that. Move that above the layer so we see it. And then again, let's change that text. Again, you can change this text to anything you like. Yeah, okay. There. Let's make that somewhat smaller. Let's change that to, there we go, bit of impact. And then we can move that as well, so we're all lined up. I'll do the bar there, and you can see it's a little bit confusing. So if I just highlight those 3 layers there, and if we come to the top here, we can say let's centralize them all. There we go. They're all lined up. Okay, so we can go ahead then and close that window there. Yeah, save. That's fine. If we go back into our street poster, there it is. You find it there. It's all it all places it for you. Create new. Now under the photo tab, let's click on that. What we're going to look for, there it is. Look, free vintage instant film effect. That's the one we're going to use in this tutorial today. But you can see here, look, there's so many free templates that Adobe provide you to make your photos and your content more visual. But so in today's guide, we're going to use the vintage instant film effect. So select that. Now we need to download that, obviously. So let's hit download. Continue. And we wait for that to download. So whilst that's downloading, talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back as soon as that has downloaded. Right, that's downloaded. So let's select open. And in it pops. Okay, so if we look at the layers panel, what we want to do is open up the layer that says your photo here. And you can see here, there's 2 aspects to this layer. There's the smart object thumbnail and the layer mask thumbnail. What you need to do is double click the smart objects thumbnail. And that will open up in a different tab. And then we're going to drop our photo into that layer there. Okay, so now what we want to do now is that we need to resize that photograph to fit this grey box. So in order to keep the proportions of that image, hold down Shift, and then we just drag out the photo to fit to the edges. Okay, and then hit return. If we come down to our layers here, we want to find the create new fill or adjustment layer. So we select that, and we're going to choose the color lookup. So select that. Now, as I've said before, I've said time and time again that photography is subjective. I make no apologies for repeating myself when I say that, because it is. So what we do is you come up to color lookup and basically have a flick through and see whichever takes your fancy. Have a flick through and see which one you prefer, because at the end of the day, it's what you like as a creative. So I quite like the soft woman look. So I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna select the soft woman look. And all we do then is, we're happy with that. We're just gonna close that label, hit save, and then that will automatically drop into our vintage print.